Live. Hi, everybody. I am Linda Krause Barnett. Welcome to Compass Productions and welcome to the Tuned In Show. It hasn't been a very consistent week on my end, and I apologize for that. I was really hard on myself yesterday which is where this whole kind of concept and download came in for time. But my kids are off from school this week because it's Thanksgiving break. My husband, who we haven't seen in about a month, is coming home tomorrow. And so, needless to say, between all of that activity and getting ready to put my house on the market, I have been a busy bee. And I thought to myself, like yesterday when I was in that be mean to yourself mode. So if you're here, please let me know that you're here, and I'm not alone. Say hello. Tell me where you're tuning in from. Tell me what you're tuning into. Tell me how tuned in you are to this holiday break, if at all. It just feels a little different this year. And if you're watching it on replay, same thing. Hashtag replay, hashtag tuned in to, and tell me what tuned into, love tuned into, cooking, right? Some of you are in cooking feast mode. Tomorrow night, we are going to my parents' house. But then Friday day, I have some friends over. So I'm not actually going to be cooking till Friday morning, which is great. And so, yeah, so yesterday when I kind of caught the inconsistency of me showing up for my daily show, there was a pretty mean dialogue going on in my mind, like, you should get it together, you should be more organized, you should figure it out, record it so that you can play it. In my mind, I was like, well, if you had pre-recorded it, you could have played it at your normal time. And all that is true. I could have done those things. But there is something so authentic, so genuine about tuning in live, because when you tune in live, you tune into the energy of the moment. You tune into the energy of either who's watching it with you or who you feel is coming to watch it on replay. Because even if you watch it later on replay, your energy is still here, right? It's like it's in the zone, it's in the vortex. And so I feel like, some of that would have gotten lost had I stuck to the plan. And it gets tricky with me sometimes. Like, when does spontaneity and in the moment presence uh, deserve to win out preparedness and scheduled, like prepared. And so that is an ongoing battle with me. Sometimes I feel really connected to the spontaneity of the moment, and sometimes I feel like, well, yeah, it's okay to be spontaneous, but it's also really there's a lot of integrity in being prepared and showing up when you say you will and when you're supposed to. So however it is you interpreted my absence, if even at all, if it even occurred to you to think about it at all, then I apologize if in any way you felt like I did not show up. But it got me thinking about time, right? And lately that's something that's been on my mind a lot. This whole concept of time being nonlinear or feeling so linear, feeling like you're running out of time while at the same time some moments feel really long and prolonged, and trying to make sense of how my eternal part of me, my soul part of me, who knows no time, um sorry, conflicts with my human me, who is sequential, who does things in order of the day, in order of the hours of the day, like this is when things need to get done. And as I began to think about that, because especially during the holiday season, hey Joe, especially during the holiday season, you feel strapped for time all the time. Like, you've got to cook and you've got to get things on the table at a certain time, and you've got people coming over, and everything seems to revolve around this concept of time and doing it all like on time, right? The bane of my existence. And as I tried to define time for myself, as I tried to ask myself, like, what is the definition of time? What is the explanation of time that makes sense for me, so that I can balance structure with spontaneity? Because in essence, that's where I struggle with time, right? How to be present and spontaneous in the moment, yet prepared and planned and on time and on schedule. And so the paradigm, AKA acronym, if you're here, please say hi. Let me know you're here. Today, we are tuning into my kind of acronym for time and how my acronym has helped me to flow into the concept of time, how my acronym has allowed me to make time my friend and not my enemy. And so the acronym that I use when I feel resistant to time is tuned in to my evolution. Okay. That is my acronym for time. Tuned in to my evolution. And so, what does that even mean? Right? What am I saying? And I'm saying that each and every second that I'm alive, I'm tuning into my evolution, right? That's why some moments feel long, some moments feel really short, like they fly by. Others are like, oh, this is taking forever. Sometimes I feel like I'm trying to beat the clock, and sometimes I feel like I'm on schedule and on time and everything's flowing really well. And either way, what's happening is time is just another way to express the concept of tuning in to your evolution, moment to moment to moment. That's what time is for. That's what time does for us here on earth. It's a capture. It's a capture of the human and the soul in a moment, in order to tune in to your evolution in this moment, and then in this moment, and then in this moment. And that's why time feels different depending on what you're doing. And that's why time um, is debatable, whether it's linear or non-linear, right? This whole concept of space and time, which how does time exist outside of our human selves, like in space on Mars or in the universe, right? And so for me, as a human concept, down here, it's a way for me to say right now, how tuned in am I to my evolution? What is my environment teaching me right now? What is this moment offering me right now? What is the gift that is present in the now, in order to help evolve me forward, in order to help evolve my learning, my soul, my experience, my knowledge, my perspective? And all of that is affected by time, or another way to say it is how tuned in I am to my evolution of the moment, right? And each second carries you into your evolutionary process. And that's what I believe when people say always the right place, always the right time. And whether we notice it in the moment or not, sometimes you have to circle back, and I wrote that somewhere in my book. Like, I used to call bullshit on right place, right time, always right place, right time. And I was like, there's no way. There's no way that I can always be in the right place at the right time, because sometimes it doesn't feel like the right place at the right time. But then what happens is, as there's a gap, as time elapses forward from that moment, I am able to then have hindsight. I am able to have reflection, right? And look back and say, okay, I understand now. I understand that moment, that capture, and what it was meant to do for me, and how it was meant to evolve me into the next moment. So that's where I really want you to get clear, that no matter whether you're on time or late, if you're like me and you're juggling, I'm juggling right now. I'm juggling two kids who are out of school. I'm juggling working. I'm juggling my house and getting it ready to put on the market. I'm juggling so many things, and you all are. All of us are. It's not unique to me. It's just my story, and you have your own story. Okay? And no matter how constrictive or expansive time feels, no matter how stressed out about time you are or how relaxed about time you are, I want you to just always ask yourself, am I tuned into my evolution in this moment? And that is how you measure time. That is the passing of the days and the hours and the breaths that you take, right? Because what is life? Life is a measurement of the breaths you take between when you're born and when you die. That's time. From your first breath to your last breath, that gap in the middle is time. And what does that mean? What am I supposed to do between my first not breast, my first breath and my last breath? How do I feel that? How do I make that gap between the two breaths meaningful? How do I make sense of the time between my first and last breath? How do I make a legacy between my first and last? Right? Because it's your life is in the middle of those two breaths. And so you ask yourself, why am I here? I'm here to tune into my evolution of a soul that existed before this body and that will continue to exist after this body because it is eternal. It is infinite. It is the one part of me that knows. It is the one part of me that doesn't expire. It is the one part of me that stepped into my first breath and will step out of my last, right? It escapes this matrix. My body won't, my mind won't, but my soul will. It's not playing this game with me. It's just along for the ride because it's evolving. It's on a journey of its own, even though right now I'm experiencing my soul. That's why I have a body, to understand all the different aspects of my soul. And what a beautiful perspective instead of the stress and the anxiety that sometimes time gives us because we're trying to fit it into that gap between our first and last breath, and we feel like it's going so fast and our kids are growing so fast and we're getting older so fast, and sometimes that can feel scary, and you're trying to become a millionaire or grow a business or grow a child or grow a marriage or grow a life or grow whatever it is you want to grow in the garden of your life. Time can put a lot of pressure on you, or at least we tell ourselves that time is putting pressure on us because we gotta like get it. We don't know how much time we have. We gotta get it. But truly, if we want to understand what it means that we're always in divine timing, that everything is always happening as it should, when it should, then one really great pivot of thought, one really great pivot of perspective is to tune in to your evolution. And so as I tune into my evolution today, I realized that, yeah, I didn't show up for some things that were scheduled, but I tuned into my children a little bit more because they're off in school. I tuned into beautifying my home a little bit. I tuned into other parts of my evolution. And so as I have to do this balance and this dance. And there are some days where it feels like I'm better at it than others. But no matter how I feel, no matter how much I think I've mastered time during the day, the only true measure of whether or not I've mastered the breaths in a 24-hour period, which we call time, is how tuned in I was to the evolution of my being, of my soul, of my presence, of my essence. And how beautiful would it be if we measured time that way? Because if you're tuned in to your evolution, to your essence, then time is doing its job perfectly. Then you are always in the right place at the right time, because that moment is offering you exactly what you need in order to exist in the next moment, right? I need this second and all the seconds before in order to stand on the very next second that awaits me. It's like steps. And you know, you're just building the layers. So that is my little secret nugget. I love acronyms. I bake them for almost everything. And time has always been something ever since I was a little girl. Time has been something that I've questioned and struggled with, and even sometimes been really afraid of, right? And I really believe that this concept of tuning into my evolution has helped me understand that what I need exists right here. And what I need, I'm getting. And what I'm getting, I need. And all of those things are going to create the desires of the moments that follow. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that you guys, let me see if I could get comments. I don't know who's here. This is still a program I'm learning. Sandra, hi, tuned into my evolution. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. So I know I came in at 5 today. I've been doing a training during the day, and it just so happens it's been happening at 10 o'clock in the morning. So it's running till about 11:15, and it was taking place during my 10:30 break. And again, I could have chosen to show up live and miss my training, but I really needed to attend the training as part of my evolution. So the best thing I could do was just reschedule my lives and honor that, right? Instead of saying like, oh, you're changing it, people are going to judge you. Does it matter more that people judge me, or does it matter more that I'm tuned in to my growth and my evolution, which I think matters exponentially more? Time is a currency that we can't waste. And we never waste it, right? Because every moment is for us. Guys, every moment is for us. Every moment is working on your behalf, on the behalf of your growth, evolution, expansion, and even doing nothing is doing something. Joe, can you, this stuff's outside. Dylan, take your dog while your sister gets the groceries, please. So I hope that makes sense. I'm so glad you guys were here. I think tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and my husband comes home at like 7:45 in the morning. So I will let you know. My plan is to show up at 10:30, but we'll see. Got a full house. And if not, thank you. If not, I will let you know what time I'm coming. I wish you all, if you celebrate American Thanksgiving at all, if you, whether it's a holiday you celebrate or not, some of us have kids out of school or family in town, and I honor that right now, whatever you're doing in this time, that you be present, that you capture these memories, and that you tune in to every breath you take, and every breath you take in and every breath you take out, and every thought you have. Stand guard at the gates of your mind, because your thoughts are your power, right? And be really mindful of a feeling that is activated by a thought, because those are what create worlds. A thought that is activated by a feeling can move a mountain. And so we want to make sure we're moving the right mountains, the ones that are unfolding our path, the ones that are guiding us on our journey. And the best way to do that is to be diligent about our thoughts and about what we think of, how we think of it, be open minded, and allow perspective to be part of your thought process, right? Perspectives that may not be your own. And that is it. That is my time log for today. That is my tuned in broadcast for today. I thank you for tuning in. I thank you if you're tuning in now. I thank you if you're tuning in on replay. Either way, let me know you were here. Sandra, I honor that you were here this evening. I love you all so, so much. And I will catch you probably at 10:30, but I don't know. Next week, I'll go back to my normal schedule and back to my normal procedures. But this week is a holiday week. And so we're going to play with time. And that means we're going to tune into my evolution. So tune in tomorrow for another episode. I love you all so much. Thank you and have a great, 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 wonderful, blessed evening.